Greetings and welcome to the Thirsty Mage, the virtual pub where friends meet up to talk about their favorite RPGs. I'm your host, David Lloyd, and this episode we're looking at a game that I've been screaming to the high heavens for years to anyone that would listen, and it's Trails in the Sky, the first chapter remake. After decades of obscurity, Trails in the Sky is finally getting its time in the sun, and we're going to discuss why it's getting so much praise and why it's so much deserved in this case. And we're going to talk about this sensational reimagining of a cult classic. This will be spoiler free. Most of us on this podcast are only through the prologue in chapter 1, so that all of the spoilers will stay within. They kind of have to stay within that point. But yeah, if you're just starting out or if you're still waiting for your copy from Limited Run Games, don't worry. We will not spoil anything for you, but we will talk about what's so great about the remake so far. And kind of go from there. So here joining me is a man that I know owns Trails in the Sky for several years, but he's loving his first playthrough of the game now. It's Casey Gibson.
I was going to say, don't listen to a thing this man has just said. He was telling me to avoid this game. I have it on my Steam Deck. I was ready to play. He said, don't you dare do it.
Yeah, I am not at all upset or enraged that I personally purchased Trails in the Sky for every host of the Thirsty Mage. I know for a fact that every single person on this podcast owns that game, and I am still the only one who has played the original version. But no, I won't hold it against anyone. That's fine. Also joining us to discuss Trails, even though she turned her version of the game into an abomination, it's Paige Chamberlain.
Whatever do you mean?
Yeah, look, I was on board with making Joshua look like Idol. I thought it was funny. When I saw Estelle without red hair, I threw my phone out the window.
Sacrilege!
But they look so good in their color swaps. They look so good.
Oh man. I avoided a good chuckle.
I avoided any dies.
Yeah, I had a good chuckle at the when you were posting the screenshots of when people were like talking about their physical appearance, and it was clearly not what the game intended.
They constantly talk about like they don't look, because we'll get into it, but one's the daughter of Estelle's the daughter of Cassius, and he's obviously been around the world. Everyone knows him basically wherever you go, and she's his daughter. And then there's an adopted son that's part of the family, and then they'll always be like, "Oh, you don't look related," or "You look just like him," and this one acts like him. So it's very funny because you can unlock alternate colors either. So like I've put them on the color swap, but there's also like just bright red hair, bright blue hair, whatever you buy at the store. But they'll constantly refer to the character by their appearance, and then it's especially funny. Also in the scenes where they're talking about like being the children, I think one of the DLC outfits you can get is a big bobblehead of Cassius, and that would be really funny to put on Joshua and have people say that he doesn't look anything like him. That'd be
that would be pretty funny. I'd love to see Joshua with a Cassius mustache.
I don't think there's no mustache options, unfortunately.
That thing's a thing of beauty.
There's a few championship mustaches in this game. Like I've run into a few NPCs where you're like, man, that's legendary right there. Like it doesn't get any better than that mustache.
I've got to be honest, I haven't really noticed, so I guess.
I've laughed out loud at a few of the designs. It's pretty funny. It is pretty weird seeing a lot of this stuff in like the modern 3D era of Trails, seeing as though the PSP version, like Trails in the Sky was actually originally a PC game, and then Falcom ported it to the PSP. And yeah, it's you're kind of like for anyone who hasn't played it, kind of think of GBA graphics, I guess would be the closest thing. Kind of.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, the chibi little things.
Yeah, blocky.
Yeah. You actually see them. They use the sprites in the loading screens of this. Yep. Yeah, so you really see what they look like. Yeah,
Um,
but it's a lot different.
because when I was playing, because the prologue is available as a demo, and it's like 6 hours. But I was trying to play it, and that's when the PS5 wasn't cleaned out, so it was shutting off on me randomly, which was very fun during boss fights. Um, so I played like 20ish minutes of my copy that I got some time ago on PC to like just compare them. One thing I noticed is that Josh actually has black hair in that version of the game. He's, they keep saying his hair's black in this, and I'm like, it doesn't. It looks blue to me. I don't.
I would say it's definitely like a navy blue. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like there's a thing about depending on your language and your culture, your perception of colors is kind of different. Like Japan, a lot of things we'd call blue, they say is green. Or the
Huh.
other,
Oh,
yeah, they didn't. Their word for green is a newer word, so like they'd still call some like, if we have like a turquoisey or a teal or something, they'd be like, well, that's I don't know, but like there's things where it's. I'm
well,
just
they
if it's got something to do with like that's
yeah.
close enough to black for them because I'm like it is clearly not black.
Well, I think it's supposed to be black because there's characters like I've heard someone be like, "Look at his raven hair."
Yeah, and I'm like, but like when I clicked on the original version, it is definitely black, and then they've changed it,
Yeah.
and I was like, why did you do that for?
Oh, the only thing I could think of is that, like in the latest ones, like in Cold Steel and uh, I'm already forgetting the new one.
See, I told you he wasn't a fan.
I know. That's it. I'm back to the originals, and everything else just is a blur now.
Horizon
But
Zero
yeah,
Dawn.
yeah. Oh, oh man, I got to Google it. But they, yeah, like they all have like blue hair. Like nobody has black hair really in that one either. Like it's all kind of like
It's just because
highlights or
they
whatever.
say he has black hair, and I'm looking at it, and
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's not.
Mm,
But yeah, we should probably talk about the start of the game first.
yeah.
Cosmetics and mustaches.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, one
so
thing I want to say though off the
oh,
bat, just if
oh.
anyone personally knows Jessica Chavez, please tell her for me that I still like her localization the best. uh,
Nerd.
I miss the treasure chests that have funny messages after you open them. That is a complete miss on this version, which was something she added into the game. That's my only critique of the new one is that they took her fingerprint off the game and it saddens me. So if anyone,
Mm.
I can't imagine she listens, but if anyone here knows her that's listening, please tell her for me.
That's actually funny about the chests. I feel like everyone, like, someone comments like, "Oh, that looks like a safe treasure over there," or like, "There's something fishy about that treasure chest."
Yeah,
I think they always comment to let you know if it's safe or not.
yeah.
I had a sneaky one. It was like it didn't shake as violently as the other ones, but it was still it did. It was
Enemy
Maybe
still
it's a
popping.
kitten in there.
yeah. um, but yeah, so this is like this is a remake of the first game in a long running series with I think I was counting the other day. It was like 12 or more games plus a couple spin-offs that weren't phone games. Um, so I guess it's a good place to start, I suppose, because it's you're introduced to the world. You've got you've got the 2 16-year-old characters, and they're becoming this thing called braces, which seems to be like a combo of like it's like not
Guardian angels.
yeah, it's like
Mercenaries slash
errand
police.
runners for a more polite word, plus mercenary sort of work. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what you'd particularly describe it.
Deputized Boy Scouts.
But they're also like
Yeah,
police, right? Because they can
yeah, they're
arrest
also
people.
you do investigations and arrests. So it's I'm like I'm not sure. It's a unique thing, I guess. That's
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It is cool. I
Um,
do like that sort of like, hey, you're not always going to just be going and killing monsters. And I think it also helps flesh out, right? Uh, the different towns you're in, but also the different people within the town. And like, oh, I forgot one of the quests was like helping a chef make a new meal in, I think in the first area, Roulette, right?
Roland. Yeah.
Roland, that's it. And and then you like learn the dynamics of like the the family and how they pick their recipes and things
Hmm.
like that. Which I always sort of like, how just builds up the different areas you're in, and obviously, this game is sort of known for that.
Yeah, one thing someone talked about was they're talking to the NPCs every time because like they supposedly have new dialogue as things happen. But I had one where it was like I felt like I wasn't doing that because one in a big 3D game was just like that's too many people to talk to. And there was times where they were talking about something and it seems like they weren't updated, but then I'm like, well, that might just be because the information's not public yet. I don't know. Um, but one thing someone pointed out was like in the hometown, there's like a couple of people you can't talk to, and it's like a kid hanging out with birds and a lady reading. And as they progress, like that first arc, the kid and the old lady were ended up hanging out together.
Oh
So
yeah.
like, they actually, yeah, the NPCs and stuff just have a little bit of a I guess a schedule tied to the progress of the story, which is neat.
Yeah, I know. Talking to everyone was a thing from the original game in the PSP, and then it's funny because in this game, so they still kind of have that a little bit where you can see on the map people you haven't that you like. There'll be a little yellow dot if you can talk to them and they have something to say, and so if you go and you talk to them, what's supposed to happen is once you talk to them, the yellow dot's supposed to like fade away so that you know that you've already talked to them. But I don't
Until
know if
next
it's
time.
a yeah, I don't know if it's a glitch though because you have to talk to them twice and get the dialogue twice before the indicator goes away.
Hmm.
So I don't know if like there's going to be an update later on that fixes that, but
I
Yeah, like
was
maybe the
gonna
first. Yeah.
ask
mm,
about the quest because like this it's funny because there's like it's relatively like this I'm sure there's a lot of changes, but in a way it's also still relatively quite a straightforward remake because I look up something I'm stuck on and then it's still the same like answers or whatever. for
oh
the,
yeah, it's very
I've
faithful.
got
Like
like an old
mm.
I've got the old guide up because the new one's not updated and it's like it's the same thing. So I was going to wonder because some people said they were talking to everyone because it's like, oh, there's secret quests, and I'm like, okay, well, given the amount of stuff that's popping up on my map, I think maybe they're not really secret anymore, and it's just because they show you a quest marker and like you can't even like walk to that side of the map yet. It's
Yeah,
like
it's like
so
out in the
far
middle of
away.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm assuming I haven't really missed out on any because I think they've modern game design they're just showing you where it is.
Yeah.
And if you,
Well, the thing that's secret is that there's bonus points that you get throughout the game when you're doing quests,
yeah,
and the, the amount of bonus points you get differs depending on how you interact with that quest. And
Yeah.
so while you're playing the game, like if you weren't looking at a guide, you might not know that you're missing different bonus points. Like there's I know there's one quest where I think it's near the beginning in the Jade Tower where the kids like they see the kids and you can either rush in or you can wait for Joshua. And so
yeah, I did
if
the
you
wrong
wait for
one.
Joshua, yeah, if you do the wrong one, then you miss the BP, but you wouldn't
Mm.
know that you missed it.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
did, yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that maybe people are talking about for like the hidden
I
stuff.
think I think maybe you just get less BP in this one and not no BP. I don't know.
Well,
Uh,
there's like the initial BP, but there's bonus BP, and you'll notice that when you go to if you
look
go
for
into the
the
bracer,
quest. Yeah.
yeah, when you go into the quest, you'll see it'll show the BP, and then some of them will have plus
In
one or plus
parentheses, right?
two,
Yeah.
yeah, next to it,
Um,
and then that note that's kind of your indication that oh, okay, I chose the right,
Yeah.
the right
I
option, but
like
it's not on everyone.
I like that system because one sometimes makes me go, yeah, I got it right. I feel bad when I didn't get it right. I'm like, well, I can't be bothered reloading for a point thing.
Let me
But
restart.
there was a
Yeah,
bit where
that's
I
why
had
there's 120 save slots.
I'm
there's a
on
bit
number
where
2.
I'm
I
on
didn't know
60.
I didn't know if I had to sneak, but like it seemed like the thing I should do. And because I did that without getting caught, I got like 3 BP, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, it definitely
uh,
feels good to get that
and
bonus.
there was
Yeah.
a bit. It's a bit later in the game, but there's like a thing you often get in this game is like escort missions.
Yep.
So you just have an NPC following you, and when you get into the turn-based combat,
Like a chicken with the head
they
cut
run
off.
around like a
Yeah.
chicken, yeah, like that. Sometimes running closer towards the enemy, so you got to keep them alive, which can be a bit of a pain. Um, but there was one quest, escort quest, and the option I chose supposedly made the fight harder. Although honestly, I feel like it was probably easier the way I did it, but I got less BP for it. But I still, so it even changed the setup for the fight that I did.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have just like those little things like that.
Oh, I think I know the one you're talking about. It's
Yeah, it's on a bridge.
yeah, in both that you get to a bridge and there's enemies that jump in front of you. Like you're on the bridge and there's
Yeah,
enemies in front of you and
Oh, yeah.
enemies behind you, and you have to choose the option
and
where you attack the ones in front of you and not the ones behind you,
yeah.
and then
Apparently, making sure you're covered from both ends is the wrong decision.
Dude,
yes.
I did that too, and I got absolutely demolished in the
I
battle.
I I beat it
But
on my third try. I think that there's a
I
benefit of sorry.
oh, sorry. I was just luckily I saved it. Actually, I redid the right question. It was so much easier.
This is
Okay.
why you have so many save slots.
I just press retry because I don't know. Because I haven't played the original really. I don't know how many of these things are like quality of life modern features because like they seem like they might be, but
No, that was an
yes.
option on the
So you
original.
can just like because it was like there's retry from a lower difficulty
Difficulty, yeah.
load. So
Yeah.
often I'm just retrying. Mostly I just there's a fight at um I guess it's the boss fight of the prologue. That one was really hard for me because she just keeps getting like all these like she would always counter everything you do. She just seemed to get all these extra hits in.
Yeah.
And I just kept trying multiple times. I get really mad. And then my husband's like, maybe you shouldn't be like playing it yet, you're not the right level. I'm like, shut up. And he's like, it's just a numbers game. And I'm like, it is not just a numbers game. There is positioning and all sorts of things going on.
Yeah.
But I did have to leave that fight. And I went around and fought the enemies. So I got a couple levels up. And I got a multi-heal, and then that boss fight
you
only took me a
waxed
few
him.
times. So yeah, then I waxed him. And then I was like, take that. So yeah, the combat here is we've got that sort of I think the thing they've been doing in their newer games where you've got a bit of in the regular world you can like whack them a bit or use some of your skills to deal
action.
damage. And they'll occasionally do a big charge attack, and if you get hit by the charged attack, it'll force you into like combat, and you're like ambushed. And then the other way around, if you build up a stun meter and stun them, and then transition into turn based, then you've got an advantage. Otherwise, you just can just go straight into turn based, which I usually do, unless they're significantly weaker than me, and then it's worth like just wailing on them for like 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I normally, especially if it's like one big strong boss or enemy and like three little weaklings. It's like, let me just clear out the weaklings real quick.
Yeah, it's good for
and
that.
Then like, yeah, maybe I could stun the big boy and get an advantage.
Well, you build your CP when you do the action attacks. Like every whack, you get an extra CP point. So
yeah,
if you're not at 100, you could like whack a few enemies, get up to 100 so that you can do an S-craft, and then you could start the match and then like wail on them.
S-crafts are so like, especially like I found any fight with like a bunch of enemies, go in there fully loaded with your S-craft abilities, and it's like they're all easy peasy after that.
That's something I didn't really pay attention to until a bit further in the game was like because you've got that we'll talk about in a second, the ornament system, but there's also character specific skills, and some of Joshua's skills are crazy.
Yeah.
He's like S-Rank is like, oh, a chance to insta kill everyone. So I opened one of those dodgy chests, I pressed that, they're all dead. They're all gone. Instant win. That was great. So I've got to look at that, that a bit more. Like the characters do have the different niches, but yeah, the combat is when you get into it, it's turn based with turn orders that can be very easily changed around because like a thing you do a lot is like delaying each other's turns. And enemies will build up attacks and you really want to delay those because they're going to hurt really bad. So certain moves, so you've got a range of moves where like you've got your basic attack, which you don't usually use too much, but sometimes you do.
No.
If they're really low and you just don't want to quick polish them off. Yeah.
You've got, I forget which one's called which. There's ones with
the magic.
You've got there's one that's used EP. Yeah, you've got art crafts and arts, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like ones.
Yeah, arts are AP and crafts are CP.
So you've got crafts, and then that uses 1 meter that gets built up by getting hit or hitting, and then the EP is just like a magic meter thing, and that's where you get more of the elemental attacks and things like that in. And those ones those ones you can change with the augment system. But yeah, it's very about positioning, because even those certain skills, especially the craft ones, the positioning, you get a bonus. Sometimes you want to make sure you're standing next to each other so you can do the multi heal. Sometimes you don't want to stand next to each other so that you're all not getting hit with a massive attack that knocks you all flat on your butt.
Oh, I've been caught in one of
Especially
those
against
before.
Josette.
Sometimes you might get stuck in between enemies and cannot physically move away.
Yeah.
Especially sometimes you go in a cave and then the enemies are up on the cave and now you can't
And you
reach
don't come
them
out.
with your attack. Yeah.
The worst is getting caught in. I got caught in the Amber Tower going up the stairs,
Yeah.
and so I was literally in the staircase, and
Yeah.
there was enemies
And-
on either side. I'm like, oh my god, like,
And you can only
fucking-
use like your ranged attacks or whatever. And there is like an actual range of attacks. So if you get too far out, you can't actually do some of your moves because you just like it's not very like it's not super strict, but there is like a bit where I'm like, oh, I'm all the way over here and I can't whack them with my knives over here. And if there's something physically blocked, if you're like behind a log, you can't bop them over the head with a staff. You got to go around. So it's a very fun system. I do get a bit confused when characters suddenly get to have a bunch of extra moves out of nowhere, and it's not just like the boss and rage mechanic. And I'm just like, huh, what? I did later on as I progressed. I started paying attention and understanding, like what you get bonuses like. On your turn, you might just like even the enemies will. So like, oh, this round they're going to get a bit extra health, a bit of extra magic points, something like that, or free use of the arts. So like obviously you want to spam your like most expensive skill usually or a heal because that'll instantly apply. Whereas that's the difference. Actually, that's the difference between crafts and arts is that crafts are instant and arts are like a charge. It depends. Sometimes it's like nearly instant because you've got just your next speed or speed bonus or something like that. But usually it's like you have to wait, and then those can get interrupted by certain enemy moves.
And they can also, if you have like lightning or there's like a fire arrow
just
attack.
Instantly.
Yeah, so like if you get delayed and all of a sudden the enemy like dips out of your line.
That's the other thing. Yeah, the positioning. So like there's the ones where you have to aim it and it's not targeting a single monster, means it's just targeting where it is on the ground. And of course the monsters will move out of the way and you're like, how dare you?
And there's nothing worse.
Sometimes I try to like delay them, but it doesn't delay them enough to to make use of it.
Yeah,
and it's really annoying.
I do like though that it shows where your magic in the turn is. Like so when you select the art, it'll show like, okay, if you do this art, you're gonna the art will attack at this point in the turn. So you could see like, oh well, these three monsters are gonna have an opportunity to move. So maybe I got to think of something else.
The turn order, like while you're flipping through your skills, will actually like move up and down, so you can see what takes longer and what doesn't, which is really nice. The one of the things you can do with certain skills is the arts, the bonus stealing, which I didn't notice that. So I've started making sure to actually do that now because I don't want my enemies to have the 0 arts bonus or maybe the health bonus or something, and I'm like impede or delaying them. Like no, don't.
Yeah. Well, that's with like Pummel, right? The craft, that's Estelle's S-craft or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that one, I feel like always stuns them and delays them pretty good.
The one thing that that's different in this game compared to the other modern ones was those random generated effects like 0 arts or a critical hit. Like they used to stay in place wherever they were in the turn order, so you could actually like if you saw like, oh crap, the boss is going to get a critical hit. So what I'll do is I'll do a delay attack so that my so I switch the turn order so that now I'm in the critical attack spot, or you could do an art like it, whereas in this game it seems to move with them. Like so if the boss has a critical attack and you delay them, the critical attack stays with that boss attack, which is
it's just delayed.
A little irritating, but
you have to specifically use a move that says it steals the bonus.
Yeah,
which
is too bad. But
or just like
very complicated though. Like everything, like even like when you'll see one of the things with the bosses, like any boss in this game, just assume that they're gonna have like when you get them down to a certain health, they're gonna do some rage mode. Like something they'll like if you get them to 20% health, like they're going to come back. Like they're going to be bounced back to 50%. Like it always
Yeah.
happens. They always have some kind of like
Or they're gonna
regain
spawn
health
more
or
ads.
something.
Dirty dogs.
Yeah, there's always a trick, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't want to spoil what it is because, like, in case I'm not up to it, but like, there's one fight, and it was taking me ages because it's like it's multiple people, and they are reviving each other with butt slaps. So, which
Oh
had me,
yeah,
that had me a
I
bit
know that one.
flabbergasted. I was like, "Is that in
Yeah.
the original?" Because I can't imagine the models doing that. But
No, the
No.
models did not move in the original. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so that took me like for ages, and then I'm sort of at a situation where my last save is like I can't go to a shop or whatever. But I did change my accessories because you have, you have your obviously equipment, your what you're wearing, but also 2 slots for like necklace type things. And so I put on resist death blow because those guys had instant death attacks as well. So when they got enraged, it was just like you're dead.
Yeah,
Like
it's
with a
also good to
50%
have
chance.
an
So
anti-seal
yeah.
jewelry, like
So
because
depending on the boss fight, I change what jewelry I'm wearing basically. So that's something I don't normally do. One thing
Honestly,
that
yeah, the jewelry seems like there's such a wide range of different effects and bonuses and stuff that, yeah, I'm always excited when you get like a new accessory to see how it could sort of fit in.
yeah,
there was a recent fight I got stuck on. I just instead swapped over and just gave them the necklaces that gave them more health so that they could actually survive taking more than one hit, and then I was able to easily. It has been funny because I'm getting at like these tough fights where I'm getting curb stomped, but then on like the third try, I just like curb stomp them back, and I'm like, oh. I don't even notice that I've killed the boss, and it's just the 2 ads left that I have to do because I just deleted them. I'm like, oh, okay. One thing that's slightly annoying that I feel like maybe should have been, I guess, fixed because this is, like a remake with all the little, whatever little quality of life things they had, is that I can't change my augments out, like, when I'm out and about.
you can.
Can you?
Yeah,
I'm
it's a weird button combination that didn't make
okay.
sense to me. But
Okay.
so you have to go into the Orberman. So I'm playing on my Steam Deck. I'm trying to think of what it's either the top or the left button. Yeah, like go to the like so if you hit the right D-pad, that should bring up the Orberman menu, and then when you're in the Orberman menu, it shows you like the different attacks that you can do, or heal if you want to heal while you're in that menu.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you
Oh,
hit
so it's
like
in that menu.
it's in that menu, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to hit like X or Y, and
Okay.
it opens and it'll open the Orbment, and then you'll see all the quartz, and then
Okay.
you can mix and match the quartz.
Because
Yeah,
it's like when you're out of town, it's like you can look at there's like another page for augments, but like you can't do anything. Like you can see it and not do
yeah,
anything.
no, yeah,
But
you can switch to
it's the
Orbments,
other
but
page. Okay, it's the one where I can
yeah.
heal from. That okay.
Now the thing,
That's
yeah.
okay.
Now the thing you can't do though is you can't unlock like it. So when you begin the game, I think there's 3 or 4 slots that are locked. You can't unlock them.
You gotta smack rocks around.
You have to go to the Orbital store to pay
Yeah,
to pay to get those unlocked, and then once those are unlocked, whatever quartz you have in your inventory, you can swap. And it's really worth unlocking those as soon as you can, because the more quartz that you stack of
more
similar
abilities, right?
yeah, so like for instance, for me, I've got 3 fire quartz in Estelle's, like, yeah, and you also have to look at the lines because there's like one line that goes to the left and it's connected to other quartz, and then there's one that goes to the right and it's only connected to 2 quartz. So I put 4 red quartz or fire
wow.
quartz in the left, and now I have a nuke ability, which
wow.
like it's just ridiculous. Like it's so overpowered. Yeah, and it's
He's
the
cheating.
same. Yeah, but you can do that with healing too, and so like you could have a bunch of blue water quartz, and then you could have like you could fully heal your party with like one
That
shot with Latier and stuff. Like it's
Olivier's like AoE heal
yeah,
is,
he comes with it. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's like so good because I essentially my Estelle had the heal, and then I would use Like honestly, a lot of times like the food and the item potions and stuff do a nice job as well. And
I'd
uh,
use food for individual people when it's just one person needs to heal. I'm like, no, I need this other
Yeah.
character to attack instead of healing all the time.
yeah, and then you learn how to make it right, like by
Yes, yeah,
eating
that
the
too.
new foods. So
Well,
it's
the
always good to I feel like use those in battle.
cooking is incredibly important in this game because not only is the food the best healing items by far, like it's just like you can get like a $200 meal that's twice as good as any of the potions.
McDonald's. Oh, you mean in
Yeah,
game? Never mind.
yeah, and then but the other thing though is that you get permanent boosts when you cook things
Yeah, when
successfully.
oh my god, you
You
know how
know,
many times
it's
it took Joshua to make the cookies, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
well, it's funny
What's funny
because I
is
saw those boosts, but that's just for in perpetuity for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
yeah,
Just
it's just a
yeah.
so
that's really
you
nice.
got to
Wow.
do it. And then yeah, the food items and then they're more for there's the meals that are for out of battle, but like the food items are more better for battle because it's like you get a strength up or whatever up, or
Yeah, the buff.
so you
CP
yeah
boost or
Or even
yeah.
yeah
yeah,
so it's,
CP recovery. Yeah, it's like, oh, I'll take 35. Thank you.
Well, there's even ones that will revive you too, certain foods.
Yeah.
yeah
Wait, you mean your characters die?
Yeah.
yeah
I play
um
all offense, baby.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm
My guys die a lot too.
yeah I'm playing on normal and that's hard enough for me honestly.
Yeah,
um
I
Yeah.
did the normal too.
but
Well,
yeah as we
random generators can kill even the best. Like you could be so overpowered, but if you walk in, like I had one boss battle where they had a critical, like they got the first shot and it was already a critical shot and I got hit and like lost 80% of my health. And I was like, you
Mm.
know what? Forget this. I'm just gonna die and try this again because
See,
yeah
I got rooked by the random generator on this one.
well
Like
that was
I'm not too proud to start
I
this
don't want to
one.
say what fight it was, but I've got two recordings of a fight where it's like they just did their ultimate attack like twice in a row before I got my turn. I'm like, okay. And then I said I did it a
GG's.
third time, and then I just curb
Yeah.
stomped to them, and I didn't even realize. So it's like you just go again sometimes,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
like you know
I've gotten opened up bad.
the first sort of real boss fight I was on, I did have to actually. Sometimes it's like, okay, I do actually have to go level up a smidge. Other times it's just trying again, or like you get as you progress through the game, your party members sort of change us out of the main two. So some of them have very specific skills. So like a tough boss fight is like you need to take advantage of that character's skills. I would say Joshua's good, but then also he has a horrible accuracy rate. Oh my god. He misses
Boost
so
Yeah.
it up.
much. I want to hit him so bad. It's ruining everything.
You want to drop kick him like in the opening?
Yeah, he deserved that actually. After the
That was
fact,
so funny.
um, I did find in the first sort of areas it was like extremely large, and there's so many enemies around that I didn't fight them because I'm like, this is ridiculous, and it
Oh,
was
I
too
fought like
tough.
all of them.
So that's
You
like where I
can
sort
run
of
around any
pretty
monsters
much.
out
You got
and
to do your dodge
about.
roll, but
Yeah. Yeah.
whereas some later areas it was a bit tighter, so I would just fight everybody on the way there because like that's how I prefer sort of RPGs to be, where I don't necessarily have to grind. It's like if I just fight everyone I see, then I'm adequately leveled mostly.
Yeah.
So that was better. There's also something I believe is new to this remake is there's caves in each area. I've only found one of them on my own, where so you go because whenever you go, one thing that's really neat is that when you're in an area, especially the towers, all the enemies don't respawn until you go outside. So
Yep.
it's a lot easier because one of those towers in particular is very ridiculous. Uh, trying to get up and down it. So it's like it's great because you can figure out where you've been by like there's not enemies there, and also that they're not going to come back until you like step outside the roof or outside the bottom. And that's very handy because then yeah, for doing this, fighting every enemy on the way somewhere, I know that I've done that. Other than some the big areas, it's a bit hard because like they fade out, like they don't get shown on the map, and I'm like, what? I thought they were spawning, but they weren't. So I really, really like that. Although I guess it's a problem if you like put yourself in like a tough spot and then you're like, oh, I can't respawn the enemies or something. Like in a point of like maybe no return, you got to find. Well, someone can't find an earlier save, but that's their problem.
I'm trying to remember if I don't remember the fast travel options in the original. Like here, you could fast travel everywhere.
Yeah,
unless
they yeah.
unless the quest stops you from doing.
Yeah, like
Which
that's really the only time. Like,
there was
well,
one.
I was even in a valley where I was like, I was way out in the valley, and I'm like, okay, I got the thing I came from. Do I have to walk all the way back now? And there was a fast travel option that no, just put it like you could just tell it, it'll just put you at the entrance. And I'm like, oh sweet. And then you walk out of the entrance, and then I fast traveled back to Roland, and I was even like I don't remember. Maybe it was there. Like it's been a couple of years since I played it, but I don't remember being able to fast travel that much.
Especially, it's like, just take me right to the guild, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't there because I remember there being a couple times where I had to go from like Roland to Bose, and I'm like, oh my god, I
Yeah.
got to walk this whole thing.
That seems
Like,
like a very quality of like life thing that they could have added for this.
yeah,
Well,
I'm
it's
pretty sure it
helpful
is.
for, I think, the guild quests. They have some arbitrary deadlines. A lot of them are. It's just because every time you finish a chapter, you go to another region, so they won't let you go back there for the time being. So obviously you can't help with those problems. But some of them, yeah, they're quite. They're a short time, so it's good to be able to get to them and come back. There
Yeah,
was one
yeah.
where I was restricted to everywhere but one fast travel point, which was good because there's points where some of the bounty quests are actually like required to progress the story because they're in the way. So I was able to go around them because I only had two people with me, and it was like I can't. This is like I can try, and then there's I definitely can't do this fight. So even though my PS5 isn't turning off all the time anymore, I am saving like every second or fifth fight, depending on how
Yeah,
tough the enemies are, just because you get wiped. Um, I forgot where I was going. Trying to think of what I've forgotten about. Um, yeah, but I do like some of those features. I did, yeah. The only reason I even noticed, I couldn't figure out where to cook. I thought it had to be somewhere physical, and then I managed to read a loading screen tip before it disappeared because it's like I got to press R1 and then it's on the D-pad, and that's like, which is how
there
I
are some weird menus. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
like
I
we
don't
said with
remember.
augments.
Yeah, because I think in the original game, what happened is you just go like the menu system was just really vast. Like you would go in and there'd just be a million things. But here, yeah, like you'll hold the R button and then there'll be like three or four more spots to go to. Like you have, yeah, guild quests, cooking,
Oh
what
yeah,
there's
your log. Yeah, what else is there?
items, like, yeah, and the log, like it's, yeah, it's crazy how much. And then even when you get in there, there's still a ton because like when you go to the guild quests, there's tabs for each of the chapters, and
Yeah, each area. Yeah, like
yeah,
bows and the quests you did there, and yeah. No,
yeah,
it I like that it keeps everything, but it also goes in line with the bracers, right? Like after every quest you finish, you got to go report it and like get it all official. So it's sort of cool that it's reflected in the log as well, like that.
Well, now
yeah.
you've told me how to find something because I'm just like, oh wow, I really wish there was a thing in the menu that told me about the quest I was doing because it's not
Hmm.
anything. No,
It
it's
took me a
in one
minute
of the
Oh
hidden.
too.
yeah,
I
It's
was
in the
doing the
hidden
same
menu.
thing.
Okay,
yeah.
then
Yeah, hold the R, and then it's
yeah,
the right option
it's
for the
next to the
bracers.
monster log. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, it's in a whole separate set of menu. Yeah, so this is the and how I accidentally found high speed mode.
Oh yeah,
So that
holding the where you click on the L. Oh, you mean like,
it's like
well, you know what's funny is that running is the L button. Like if you click the L, you can run. But then there's also a high speed mode.
yeah, I'm like, man, the
I
running in this
yeah.
game is so slow, and then I accidentally click on high speed mode. I'm like, dang.
I don't
Yeah,
know. High
It took me.
Speed Road ruined Final Fantasy 12 for me. I'll never do it again.
Oh, okay.
I I would just blast through so quick, and it would just be absurd. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I I don't mind doing so like I'll not always skip the animations in battle, but on like
I
some of the
have been.
follow up attacks, you know what I mean? It's like I don't need to see that, you know.
yeah.
And I feel like the battles go quick enough.
So I accidentally turned it on, and it was useful for like just zooming back out of an area when I didn't have fast travel or something like that, or before I knew I had it. But yeah, I basically have it on most of the time now, because it makes it fast enough that I don't have to, because you have to press to skip the animations every time, if you want to skip them, and it's like this makes them fast enough that I don't have to skip them. It's also funny, like, because because it's got voice acting, so the pace of that'll still be the same, but the characters walk just that little bit faster. Stuff. So I'm like, I sort of like turn it off, off and on for like the cutscenes, but it's I know I'm very much having I'm very glad that there's a high speed mode in this. It's very fun. It's good, especially when you like have it on and then you run and you're like, zoom. It's great. So I was gonna say, David would know, when in this series did they start putting in high speed modes?
Uh,
It's like, I don't know, man.
A
There's like
real
12 of
fan
these.
would know.
Yeah, you would know.
oh, I'm just thinking, like, I know that they were definitely in the Trails of Cold Steel, and and they were in the Crossbell arc. I'm just trying to remember if it was in the third chapter or not. Like it was pretty quick. Like it would be at least the Crossbell arc, like Trails to Azure and Trails from Zero. It was definitely in those at least that one, if not in the. I don't know if it was in the PSP versions, but I'm pretty sure it was in the Steam versions.
Although that's actually the high speed mode. That's I guess I would be worried about playing the Switch or Switch 2 version while playing high speed mode in a battle or something. I feel like that. I think that
Yeah.
I'm comfortable doing it because I'm playing on a PS5. So,
Well, the worst is when you're in high speed mode and you accidentally turn on the auto attack, like the auto battle, and
I think I
they
did
just
that.
do weak attacks, and you're just like, come on! I just wasted like 8 turns.
Yeah, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
I don't think I've accidentally done that. I thought I did somehow, but it was just that the character got confused. So they were like, wait, no. But yeah, that's really great. I love it. It's just especially like certain areas later in the game where you've got to like go up and down, or like those towers. It's extremely just makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that one little thing. I think we talked about most of the gameplay systems. My husband was like, "Oh, do you have any mini games yet?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think there's any mini games in this." And yeah, actually,
Trying to think. Yeah. Well, there was you could do a bit of fishing.
yeah, but that wasn't
In
really.
both.
It was
It's not really
I caught one trout and I hit the road.
Yeah. Yeah. I was moving
I
along.
just googled it and then got a couple of the good ones. But yeah, there isn't any. How do you feel about an RPG not having mini games?
I feel like there's enough in the game that it's not like you could sort of argue that there's enough like mini things. Like the cooking is, I guess you don't really do anything you just click a button or whatever and
What
cross
is
your
an
fingers.
RPG
But
at the end of the day? Just clicking buttons, you know?
yeah, the game's like 50 to 60 hours already. I don't need anything more to.
Yeah,
I think to me the strength of the game is just like the dialogue. Like there's so much community to the game. Like everywhere they go, it feels like, especially Roland, it kind of kicks it off where you can see that they're all like everyone knows each other, and there's this like community feel of helping out. That's why like the Bracer Guild is so weird in the sense like there's no police officers or anything. Like the Bracers are kind of the police, but they're not really. Like they're more like community leaders. Like
maybe they're sort of like how the Japanese police are, because people are talking about like you have the police help boxes, and if you've lost something or you're lost or whatever, you go up to one and the cops help you.
Yeah.
So maybe it's sort of based on like how the police system works there, where they're police, but then they also, not to the same extent that the racists do. Like they're not going to be chasing up certain chores and things, but just that extra helpfulness and doing extra little things for the citizens.
I need some flank steaks, officer.
Get me some donuts and don't bite them this time.
Yeah, cook it up and I'll be over by the park when you're done.
Yeah. Well, and then there's like so many side quests to do too. Like there was that yappy chef in Roland who was like, I need these special. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like a mushroom or something that actually attracted enemies. And Joshua like, that. You jerk. He's like, you knew that those were going to attract.
I loved their faces when they pull up.
He just forgot to mention it,
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I really like. We're talking about community. I like that you do quests for NPCs in one area and they're from somewhere else, and then you go where they are and you find them.
Yeah.
And you may or may not have a follow-up quest with them, but it's like, oh, they just say, oh yeah, thanks for your help back then, and you see them where they actually normally are, and you're like, whoa, it's definitely it's a nicely built world that way.
Yeah. They're a little too casual with alcohol in this game, though.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that Sharza or however you say it,
Scheherazade,
Charizard.
Shara, like
She's
yeah,
a
Oh,
bad influence.
yeah,
no, you
but
just
like she's not even the worst drinker in the game. Is the hilarious thing. Like she's pretty strong, but she's not like
She knows how
she's
to
not.
handle it.
Yeah, there is someone else in the game that can drink her under the table, which is
Ooh,
hilarious.
um
I
I'm
look forward to that.
surprised that like alcohol's not an item I can get, but I guess we're playing as our main two characters are 16 years
Yeah,
old, so they gotta wait 2
yeah.
years or 4 years because Japan's 20, so if it's based on there or not.
Well, and they keep getting offered alcohol throughout the
Yeah,
game, and they're like, "No, we're good."
Yeah.
I'm just a baby. No.
Yeah,
It is a different time, you know.
yeah. And then I
Well, I
love
don't
how they get
know.
sobered up in like 15 minutes.
That's the world I know. Specifically, the one we're in, the country we're in, liberal. It's like it's basically seems like it's pre-TV technology wise. It's like because there's some computers with like just text computers, and we've
Well,
got
the
cameras, and
Orbaments
we've
fight
got
isn't it sort of
airships.
like the dawn of all that, or
Uh,
is that a different um
you,
arc?
we're treading into spoiler territory now because
Okay.
it will be explained. Like
Um,
there's the one thing with this game, like you've got so many games. There's a deep lore to the history. There's a
um,
very structure, like this, this was discovered by this guy at this time,
yeah.
and it, yeah, like throughout the 12, 13 games at this point, like all the history is revealed for that.
Um,
But in this game, uh yeah, the whole orbiment system is very central to the game, and it'll get much more detailed in later chapters.
I just
Gotcha. Okay.
it's just kind of funny because it's like it seems like semi pre TV, but then they've got some and the augments are also like your weapons for special magic attacks and stuff. But
Yeah,
like a few people have some old timey telephones on the wall, and like one guy you find out at the end of chapter one that like technically mobile phones are a thing, but only like a couple people have them at present. So it is. But then sneakers and like sneaker brands and being a sneakerhead is a thing. So it's. I mean, it's a whole
yeah,
different world. So it's all right for technology to be different. It's just like where I'm like mentally comparing it with. I'm just like I guess it's sort of pre TV. But then like some of the other things aren't really that well established either. Because I guess they're focusing on their magic weapons and airships first. So
yeah.
that's
Well,
more
yeah,
important.
I was gonna say that's the other thing that you learn throughout the series is like every country is a little bit more technically inclined to something else. Like Liberal is known for its airships. Like that was like the whole thing when I don't know. I don't want to get too involved in the history because I can't remember if it's already been described, but there's a war between Liberal and
Yeah, the
Erebonia,
Erebonia. Yeah,
and
10
the
years ago,
airships
right?
are 10 years, and the airships are kind of one of the things that turned the tide of the battle for Liberal, because they have the airship technology that's more advanced than
that's
other countries, and
I'd say the
uh,
early point of the game, all that's really explained is that there was a war 10 years ago, and that the augments are only about 50 years old.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's yeah. There's like, man, the story is so complicated. Like it just gets more and more every game
I mean
too. Like,
at present
and
it's
everything is
quite simple.
connected.
So
Like it's crazy. Like
I'm excited because yeah, like I feel like it is such a daunting series to get into, knowing how much there is, but with these remakes it feels like a good place to finally get in,
yeah,
Um
yeah.
what's the
Mm.
next, I mean, not to get ahead of ourselves here, but like after this arc, what's the one you generally would play next?
Well, if we're looking at timelines, so the Sky arc has 3 games. So it's the one we're playing now, first chapter, and then there's a second chapter, which is a continue. I guess I shouldn't say what it is. There's a second chapter, and then there's so the first 2 are focused on Estelle and Joshua, and then the third game in the Skies trilogy is more focused. Like the main protagonist is a different guy. Um, there Kevin. So I know
I don't
it's
know why it's
hilarious.
like Estelle, Joshua, and Kevin.
Kevin. I think yeah, Kevin Graham, I believe is. So that's like the first arc, and then the next 2 games are the Crossbell arc, which is Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure. So that's Lloyd Bennings is the main character
Okay, because
there.
I've played a little bit of Zero, I believe. Right, came out on
Yeah, so
Switch.
that's the so those were I would say they're ported because when those came out, that was the first time they had come out in English. Like they had never been localized before until that point.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Uh, like they were fan translated. Like I actually played the fans. I had to buy the game from a Chinese website in which I didn't actually know what I was clicking on. Like there was literally a guide that was like, click on this and then click on this and then put your credit card here and then maybe you'll get the game. And I'm like, sweet, I got the game. And then yeah, so I got and then
The
like
game
I
where
swear
you're
to
going to be
God,
screwed for life financially.
3 days after I finished that game, they announced the English localization's coming.
That's so funny.
So that was great. So anyway, those two games, and then after that, the Cold Steel arc starts, and that's 4 games.
Yep, I remember because that's like the first time I feel like I remember really hearing about the series. I was at
Yeah.
PAX and they were showing off Cold Steel 4.
Yeah, well, it was the third. Trails of Cold Steel 3 is kind of what hooked me on the like. I had played Trails in the Sky, but I didn't finish it, and I didn't quite get it. But when I played Cold Steel 3, like it all hit, and that's when I went back and started from the beginning again. So there's there, so that's 3, 2, 4. So there's 9 games, and then there's Trails to Reverie is the 10th game, but it's kind of it's I would almost call it DLC for Cold Steel 4 because it's like kind of a crappy story. Like it's a long game, but like I
Not
wasn't
that
really
great.
into it. No, and then the latest Cold Steel, no, sorry, not Cold Steel, Legends of Heroes. I'm blanking on the name of it. I'm gonna have to look it up. The
Real fan.
I know, eh? Well, and
So,
these were the last games I played.
so
Sorry.
basically, you're saying we should play the Sky trilogy and not worry about the rest of it because it's bad.
Yeah, no, all the games are great. Trails through Daybreak. That's why I keep forgetting.
Is that the one where you're like actually a police officer? Not a police officer. I feel like I have played
He's
another
more like
game.
yeah. There's so the latest. So the 2 games have already come out so far. So there's Trails through Daybreak, Trails through Daybreak 2, and then Trails Beyond the Horizon is the third one that hasn't come out yet in English that we're waiting on. I think it's supposed to come out next year. You play as he's kind of like a bracer, but he's not.
But it's like a
He's
cop division, right?
No,
Or
you're
something?
probably thinking of the Crossbell arc because they're all police.
Maybe I because I feel like I've played 2 other games a little bit
Yeah,
of, but not.
you're thinking of the Crossbell one. It's the SSS. It's a division of the police, and they're all
Yes,
like
yep.
detectives. Yeah, so that's the second arc. The fourth arc is Trails. The fourth arc, eh? Trails through Daybreak. Um, it's a Van Arkwright, and he's the main character, and yeah, he's kind of like a bracer, but he's more of a criminal bracer, I guess you'd wait. He's kind of like this shady. They call him a Spriggan, where he does the things the police won't do, and the things that the bracers feel is morally ambiguous. So he's kind of like this gray area guy that he kind
He's
of
just the
does.
guy you need for that job.
Yeah, like when you need something done, no questions asked, he's the guy you call.
Gotcha.
That's kind of the way it is. But he's sort of like a bracer in that he's trying to do good things, but he's not a policeman. But he's kind of at odds with the police and the Bracer Guild at the same time. Like they don't
He hates it.
exactly like
He's
him.
a curmudgeon.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny, but so yeah, so there's 3 there, so that's 13 games right there. So
All right, well, we better get busy.
Okay, well, where does Nayata fit in all of that then?
that is I think that's a Legend of the Hero game, but it has nothing to do with Zemuria as far as I know. But I will look that up.
You just like, I don't know, man. Ask somebody else.
Yeah. What?
So,
How does it?
how do you feel about this remake as someone who likes the original game and has played it at least once?
Oh, I played. Yeah, I played it 2.5
More than
times.
2.5.
2.5 times. I really like it. I think like the original will always like. I might go play the original again at some point. Like I still like it, but I think this is as good as a remake could get of it. I would say like it still captures what makes it good. Um, like it has that community feel. It has that terrific like all like in the original there's no voice acting. You're just reading everything, and so the voice actors just do a really good job of vocalizing all the great dialogue that's in the game. Really shows all the emotions of the characters. Like it's great so far. I love it. Like I said, the only critique I have of it is that they seem to have like taken out some of the stuff that Jessica Chavez did with like I said, the in the first game you'd open a treasure chest, you would get the thing, but then if you tried to open the treasure chest again, like it's already open, but you kind of click on it again and a funny message would come up. So sometimes it would be like, usually it's jokes and stuff, so it's just funny to have that. And um but yeah, like I mean, how like just Joshua and Estelle are like two of the best RPG characters out there. Like and to see them playing off each other throughout the game has been great. So I'm just glad that it seems to be like when you look on social media and stuff, like everybody seems to be talking about this game, which I wasn't expecting. Um, like I kind of hoped that they would get a few eyes on it, but like it seems like a lot more than I would have ever anticipated. So
Yeah, it seems like lots of people have been playing and lots of people have been enjoying.
yeah, so hopefully this kind of gives them the motivation to remake the
Every
earlier
single
ones,
game
because
they've
yeah.
released.
Yeah, really. Well, I would say they like the Sky arc and the Crossbell arc. They could make in this modern way, and then it wouldn't make much sense Cold Steel on to remake it at that point.
HD
Like,
texture slap.
Hey, don't tell that to Naughty
yeah,
Dog.
yeah, just yeah. I would say just port
Well,
it at
I
that point.
mean,
If
it's not. I mean, RGD is like doing, Yakuza 3 Kiwami, and it's very funny because it's like they've started dubbing the games, but like the other two Kiwamis aren't dubbed, so it's, it's like, do
yeah,
they have to remake their remakes?
They're gonna have to go back and redo it. Yeah, they're like, we're leaving money on the table.
yeah. Hey, if someone's paying for it, they'll make it.
Well,
So,
I don't know about that.
but it sounds like you guys are having a good time,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I'm
and
happy
I
about.
guess just to wrap it up, we each actually played on a different console. So I'm playing on the Switch 2. Um, I got the physical play, got the dollar upgrade fee, and it's been running really great. I guess there are times in like sort of cutscenes where they sort of do like that like slow pan over like the town or something. You know what I mean? Where you could tell it like drops some frames, not like terrible, but not just like super smooth. But mostly, even like moving the camera around and running through the fields like runs pretty darn smooth. So as far as the Switch 2 goes, it I'm very happy with it. So, but yeah, and yeah, in terms of the game itself, I've been having a blast. Like you said, I don't know if it's gonna be something I keep up the entire way, but I've been doing all the side quests as they come available
Hmm.
to try and up that bracer rank.
Hmm.
Has been fun. So we'll see if that falls off at some point. But yeah, otherwise I've really been loving it.
One tip for Casey is to check the normal stores before you leave a town, because I've now missed out on a couple of copies of a book, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
no. And I don't know. This game probably doesn't have some games have, like, I don't think this game. I don't know. David can tell me if a game has like post game or whatever, or some games it's like it's not post game, but like you can, it's just you're stuck where your last save was before like the final thing, or some it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can just run around, and I can't. I wish I could run around afterwards because not that I really want to
Oh,
do anything.
yeah.
You can't. No.
I can't. Well, I can't tell you why.
Okay.
Because it would be a spoiler.
You
But I
go to
can.
another country. I don't know. Probably.
You are definitely not doing anything at the end of the game.
Oh, get get in a coma or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just, but yeah, because I got to the last It says final chapter, and then I've opened the actual world map, and I've just realized that it's like a donut.
Oh yeah.
The country's like a donut, and like because there's got the gates, and like your thing is you're walking through the world, so it's like you could just technically, if the game let you, which it won't, you could just do a whole lap of the entire country. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that. Now that I've seen that, it's like a donut. Like, I actually no, that's one thing that's weird to me. So it's the same country, it's all liberal or whatever, but I have to get permits to go to the different states.
Yeah, they
Uh,
just let you into any old country.
are you talking about like when you have to go to the Bracer Guild?
The border passes.
Well, well, the first one I know was because of the incident, right? Or like they made you get the pass to go through
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. Like at Roland,
at the
they
gate.
had to talk to the guy to get. Yeah,
If
I don't think you need passes to necessarily go to the different regions. I think there were specific reasons why they were restricting some people from
I guess it's
moving.
just, but it was every single time, even if there wasn't a problem in that chapter, that like every time I went through a gate, I needed to do paperwork, and I'm like, why do I need to do paperwork to
I
move in my own country?
I also think it was partly just to give a reason why you couldn't just move on because you had to finish like
Yeah,
the quests. Like they want like I think just story wise, they're like okay, like we need a reason why you can't just move on to the next region without finishing what you were supposed to finish
I'm
here.
just like the
Yeah.
only time I've needed a border pass for another state in my country was COVID. So like I don't.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just such a weird premise to me. It's like, no,
yeah.
you can't go here without permission, express written permission. It's weird. That's
Yeah,
another cool thing to
I'm
me,
playing on the
especially
Steam
when
Deck, and it works plays perfectly for me. It's funny the Steam Deck actually like the screen seems big to me now that I've been playing on my hand my Retroid Pocket. It seems like a massive beast in my hand now. But the one thing that I find is funny is that the Steam Deck has to do some work. Like it's always like the fan is always on and it's always warm. Yeah, like I'm like man, like it's getting a work out here. Like you
That's
know,
because you don't
it's
have the OLED.
yeah, probably,
well,
but yeah, works
I'm
good.
playing on PS5 now that it's been cleaned out. It is not. It wouldn't even do that. It would just turn off on me. Yeah, it runs fine. Visually, I think the game's sort of it's pretty. It's a very generic style, honestly. That's one thing where I'm looking at how the original game looks, and it's like, oh, this seems to be a bit more. The smaller environments, they can put more detail, whereas it's kind of stretched out in the
Yeah,
3D world. So it's like it's okay, but it's like I'm not going like wow, this is pretty or anything.
yeah,
I'm still glad, but I did buy the PS5 version because they were like, oh, we're going to switch to upgrade, but it's like the demo was just for Switch One. It was late. It was after the PlayStation One, so already started, and then it was like no, the Switch Two copies weren't sent out till like the day the game came out. So it's like I had no idea how the Switch Two version was going to look, and I'm like, I actually am
yeah,
becoming a bit more of a graphic snob, even though this game isn't like a superbly like like artistic game or something. It's still like yeah, but I know it looks worse because I've already seen it. It was like when I played Dragon Quest on the 11 on the PS4, and then look at the Switch version, and I'm like, I can tell it looks worse. It might be
yeah.
minute, but I can tell, and I don't like it. And yeah, I get the benefit of also just the performance being stable and good, and I can play like the whole game on high speed mode. Although sometimes I got to turn it off for the positioning because you move too fast to like get it right.
Mm,
So I am happy with the getting it on the PlayStation.
cool. Well, that'll probably do it for our initial impressions of Trails in the Sky first chapter. I'm sure we'll have another episode when we finish up to kind of
Mm-hmm.
do a spoiler cast retrospective style. But yeah, it's we're all happy that this has turned out so well. You never know with remakes; they can be hit or miss, and there's usually things. There's always good and bad, but thankfully, it's like 99.9% good in this case. With not a whole lot to complain about. So we're real happy here. But Yeah, I guess that will do it for this this episode of the Thirsty Mage. I want to thank everyone for listening, and we'll see you at the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye.
Adios.